entertainment, beautiful music, amazing programs. We got you all covered at Diamond 88.7 FM.
You can only get timely, credible, and reliable news on your shining supreme station. Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin.
For the best of national, local, international news and sport, tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
It is 1 minute gone past 9 a.m. Good morning and thank you for joining us on today's edition of News Punch on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilori, where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. I am TOBI ADEBISI and here are the stories making the waves across the world this morning. In Nigeria, the Air Peace flight carrying over 270 Nigerian students from the Aswan Airport in Egypt has landed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The NAF C-138H jet, also carrying about 80 persons, also touched down moments later. After over a week of assurances by the federal government, the Nigerian evacuees were finally airlifted home, escaping the deadly conflict in Sudan. Since April 15, Sudan has been plunged into armed conflicts with clashes between rival factions of the North African nation's military government breaking out in western Sudan, in the capital city of Khartoum, and in the Darfur region. Still in Nigeria, the Senate has passed a bill recommending life imprisonment without an option of fine for unlawful explosives manufacturers in the country. Section 11 of the bill seeking to repeal the Explosives Act 1964 and enact the Explosives Act 2023 passed for third reading in the Senate yesterday. The passage followed the consideration of and adoption of a report by the Senate Committee on Solid Minerals, Mine, Steel Development and Metallurgy, chaired by Senator Tanko Al-Makura. On the foreign scene, Russia has said that it shot down 2 drones aimed at President Vladimir Putin's Kremlin residence in what it called a Ukrainian terrorist assassination attempt. Kyiv said it had nothing to do with the alleged attack, suggesting it was staged by Moscow, while the U.S. said the report should not be taken seriously. Russia announced the incident after a series of major sabotage attacks in the run-up to celebrations for the nation's most important holiday on May 9, marking the Soviet victory over the Nazis. In sport, Erling Haaland set a new record of 35 goals in a Premier League season as Manchester City overcame West Ham 3-0 to move back to the top of the table on Wednesday. City were made to work by an undermanned Hammers to edge 1 point clear of Arsenal in the title race, with a game in hand still to come. The visitors were missing England international Declan Rice, Thomas Suchek and Naif Aguerd through illness, while injuries meant David Moyes could only name 5 outfield substitutes. That's all we have for you on this edition of News Punch. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we bring you the analysis of some of the major stories on the lips of the citizens right now. Stay tuned.
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, so help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the sport spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hurt Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
All right, you're welcome back to the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM. We will be analyzing some of the major talking points in the news right now. And to do this with me this morning is Dr. Hadi Mashood Atonda, a director in the Kwara State College of Education, Ilori. He is also a public affairs analyst and social commentator. It's nice once again to have you in the house, Doctor.
Good morning, Toby.
Good morning.
And, listeners all over the world, good morning to you all.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine.
And hope you didn't see the rain, as Yoruba people would say.
Rain, go away.
All right, the president is leaving the Aso Rock to join many past presidents as an elder statesman. Much has been said about his 8 years in government. You know, a lot of analysts say a lot of 10 cents over that. Many applauded him, while several others reproached some of his policies that did not sit well with what was promised. A respected NNPP chieftain, Buba Galadima, gave a scathing assessment of the Buhari government. These will be the areas we will be exploring in our reviews of the president's government. But before we go, let's listen to what Buba Galadima had to say. Here it is.
157 per dollar. Today it is nearly 800 naira per dollar. He made pump price of oil at so, and today it is so. He made a bag of rice at 7,000 naira. Today it is 60,000 naira. Buhari made insecurity confined generally only into the northeastern part of Nigeria. Today insecurity is across all the land. There are nothing so critical to any Nigerian more than security, more than food on the table, more than the exchange rate. Once these three are down, what else would Buhari say he has done? He has not done anything to warrant being applauded.
This conversation welcomes you, listeners, and every other person welcomes the opinions about the administration as we discuss his scorecard, the facts, and the views. So basically today we're looking at the Buhari-led administration, the 8-year-led administration, and we're looking at how far that administration went in, you know, seeing the end to some of our problems and also seeing, well, you know, how far we went in those issues. I see Doctor already nodding and smiling. Let me begin with your reaction. How would you react to that?
First of all, I want to say that no matter how little, you cannot just come up and say the government has not done anything.
Yeah.
So I will begin from what the government itself actually counted as its own achievement. So when we do that, we now look at the pros and cons. You know, normally on this program we have to balance the equation.
Of course.
So we look at what the government. One thing the government has told us severally, that those who supposed to broadcast or make a kind of announcement of what they have done, they are not saying it. And if they are not saying it, the government is ready to say it by themselves. So let's look at what the government itself says that they have done. And then we can look, and then we'll go back to the other side of the coin too. The government had a 9 priority agenda. Number 1 is power. Number 2 is communication. Number 3 is digital economy. Number 4 is oil and gas. Number 5, national security. Number 6, anti-graft war. Number 7, social investment. Number 8, health. Number 9, agriculture. So those are the 9 points, cardinal point agenda of the present administration. And the government came up to say that under the first instance, that's under the security, that the government had provided more than 38 fighter jets that was added to the NAV consignment. And then they have purchased weapons and other military hardware, and then they have retrained the personnel. Not only that, the government had, during this administration, they have recruited more than 20,000 police personnel to add to the police this thing that we have. Then, not only that, on digital economy, communication and digital economy, the government said that they have made a kind of coverage. As at 2022, they had made about 44.32%, which is and they have reinvoiced 77.52% 4G coverage, with the establishment of 36,751 4G stations nationwide. So that's that. Then on the on the power generation, the government had generated 25,000 megawatts in 6 years. And then not only that, the government plan to meter 6 million households, which they are on the progress of that. And once the houses are metered, you are going to be less burdened with these power charges. Then the government also claimed that they have constructed 408 kilometers of road, with 2,499 kilometers of sukuk road. The sukuk was the kind of loan through intervention where you get this loan on sukuk, you will not pay interest on it. They got this loan through sukuk, and they have used that loan to construct 2,499 kilometers of road. So that's on the road section. And also they have maintained 15,961 kilometers of road across the country. So, and a sample of this is 1.9 kilometer second Niger bridge with 10.30 kilometer of road across it. Not only that, they have also reconstructed the Lagos-Shagamu-Ibadan-Dua carriageway, and then Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna, Zaria, Kano road. These are part of the achievement of this administration. Then over 941 kilometers of completed sukuk road have been completed and handed over. Now, on social investment, the government claim that they have fed 9,990,862 pupils through the school feeding program. And under this program, 128,531 cooks were employed across local communities who got employment through this feeding, through school feedings. Then, during the COVID-19 era, the government claimed that they were able to give vaccine to 51.7 million Nigerians, which is about 46.3% of Nigerians. Then on agric, the government reacted that the goal of self-sufficiency in rice production, they have attained it. And we also saw the rice pyramid, even though we don't know how it just went into thin air without seeing it. But that is that. Then these are some of the achievements of the administration, not to just say that they've not done anything.
Yeah.
So now on those other side of the coin, can I go ahead?
I would pause you there.
Okay.
I have questions.
Yeah.
And I know that people listening also have questions. But then there are talking points. I love the fact that we went through the things that the administration said that they've done. Because also when I listen to this, when I listen to the media that we just listened to, I also was of the opinion that no matter how bad, no matter how little, an administration must have had an achievement. We can't say that in all the 8 years that this administration has been there, there have been no there's been no achievement so far. So I love that you actually went through that for and with us. But in the meantime, let's go for a short commercial break, and we will be right back. Do not forget that you can drop your opinions, you can drop your reactions on WhatsApp and through text on 091 36 55 6864. Again, 091 36 55 6864 for your reactions. We will be right back. It's still the Diamond Breakfast Show. Stay with us.
Diamond FM, radio made for you.
Are you looking for a school for your child to grow? Look no further. We have got the perfect place to go. Our teachers are passionate and highly qualified. They will inspire your child to learn and thrive. Our schools are free. Your child will feel safe, happy, and strong. Let your child reach their full potential. Give them the education that is truly essential and competing with global schools. Enrollment is ongoing. Go to any government primary school closest to you and enroll your child in school. Kwara Lane. Every child counts. This message is brought to you by Kwara Lane.
All right, you're welcome back, and you're still listening to Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM. Before we went on the break, we started looking at the current administration's scorecard. And before we went on that break, Dr. Hadi, my guest on the show, took us through some of the things that the current administration has said that they achieved in the 8 years. Some of the things, please, not all of the things, some. Now, beyond the fact that the statement is coming, what we listened to, the media we listened to before we went on that break, beyond the fact that it is coming from a member of an opposition party, Nigerians experienced this period compared to when he came as president. Let us also look at that. Have we entered another phase in our developmental journey, or there's justifications for the declines we experienced?
Let me say that there are justifications for the decline. And, the administration will always say, and the PMB will always say that I will leave the nation better than I met it. And if we have to look at that, because I want to make a kind of comparison between 2015 and 2023 now, to actually see whether the president is leaving it better than he met it. And part of it is what the audio that you have played also x-ray. We know that in 2015, when he came on board, fuel was 87 naira per liter. But he's now leaving the stage with 264.29 liter per liter, or 230, as most people are selling it now. So you can judge whether he's living it better than he met it. Inflation, when he came in 2015, was on one digit, 9.01%. Now it's now leaving the stage with 22.04% inflation. So on food inflation, why that's when the man was saying that when you cannot get food on your table, the food inflation was also on one digit when he came on board in 2015 with 9.78%, and now it's leaving food inflation at 22.72%. So that is you can see on 2 digits. And the minimum wage was 18,000 when he came, and now it's giving us 30,000. But that 30,000, the food inflation, the skyrocketing effect of the inflation, which we have just said that from 9 to 22% on both the inflation and the food inflation, has eroded whatever the gains of that 30,000. So there's nothing to write home about. The cooking gas, you are a woman, you cook, which was 256 per kg as at the time it came in 2015, is now 822.16 kilometer per kg now. Electricity bill, when it came in 2015, is 27.20 kilowatts per hour, and now it's now leaving it at 68 per kilowatt per hour. You can imagine. And once that is also high, what do we expect the common man to gain from it. The exchange rate when it came in 2015 was 97.87 per dollar to a dollar, and now it's leaving it at 460.87 per dollar. So the public debt, when it came in 2015, was 12.6 trillion, and now it's leaving the stage with 46.25 trillion debt. So, and a bag of rice, as in the man has hardly pointed out, was around 5,000 to 7,000 when it came. A bag is now 30,000 to 40,000 naira per bag. So when you look at all these statistics, that is performance index that we can just say that is the president leaving it better than he met it. Everybody can now take that statistics and judge yourself.
Judge by themselves.
Yeah, judge and see whether
Many
the president
would
is actually
also,
living it by.
many are also arguing that the reason for some of the inflations that we experienced is also because of the inflation going on worldwide. As a result of COVID-19 and as a result of the Ukraine-Russian war that started sometime last year. In short, shortly, what would you say about this?
That's not an excuse. We are not the only one that went into COVID-19. It was a global phenomenon. And the Russian-Ukraine war, we could not manage it to our own advantage. Countries have used the war to their own advantage, which Nigeria did not. So I can actually say that Mr. President is not a good manager of economy. He's not a very good manager of economy. He could not manage the economy very well. So those who use Ukraine-Russian war use it to their own advantage, and they have gained a lot from it. But we, Nigeria, what are we? We are using it as a complaint to complain. We are using COVID-19 to complain. COVID-19 is a global phenomenon that has affected everybody. And those nations move forward, and we are not moving anywhere.
All right, thank you so much. Do not forget that you can join in the conversation on WhatsApp and through your text messages on 09136 556864. What is your assessment of the present administration that is bound to end in the next 25 days? What is your assessment of this administration? 09136556864. The hopes were high for the administration. I could remember how people were championing for this administration. People expected a lot. And also the combination of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari and the vice presidents gave a lot of people a lot of hope. Where did we experience sort of derailments? Because along the line there were derailments. So where do you think we experienced a derailment?
Thank you so much for that question. You see, the expectation was so high when he came, particularly given his antecedent as a retired general. And we felt that he came probably with three agendas then. That is economy, security, and what's the third one? So that when he came, we felt that with his antecedent as a military general, as a retired general, we are going to see that impact on the nation. Actually, when you ask anybody in Mr. President's cabinet now, they will tell you that they have also done better than they met it in 2015. That 2015, Boko Haram has captured some local governments, and they have even hosted their flags in some of these local governments that Nigeria could not claim any land. But today, Boko Haram is nowhere to be found. Good. But what are the dimension it took, which was a new dimension entirely? And as a government, you should be ahead of whoever is planning this. So you are always looking at one side of the coin, but you are not looking at that. Those who are perpetrating this evil, they are always ahead of the government, and the government should be ahead of them. So by the time you are saying you are winning the war of Boko Haram, and they are coming in another form, banditry, kidnapping and ransom taking, killing, and all sorts of things. The number of people that have died under this administration, we have never recorded such kind of death, even under a war situation. We are not in war situation, but you can say the number of deaths under this administration is so high as if we are in war.
Now, since you have gone to
the derailment was as a sort of the complacency of the administration.
So you would say, for you would say that it was a result of not being proactive.
They are not proactive. And we look at most of their policies. They are counter and they are anti-masses. The policies are anti-people. And we expect that they will have people in administration who are the kind of economic team that they put forward We expect to get good results from these people. But what happened? Lack of sincerity of purpose. With those people who are forming the nucleus of the economic team, they are not sincere. And once they are not sincere, you cannot get any result.
We also saw policies that were meant to curb some things that then they ended up creating more problems.
A somersault kind of policy that we could not get anything from it. Look at it now. Even as the administration is trying to wind up now, they are now saying they are going to increase taxes and they are going to increase excise duty. And let me tell you, if they go ahead to do that, the effect of that is that it will aggravate current rate of unemployment that we have in the country.
In the country.
Not only that, it will encourage smuggling, because once you cannot go through the exorbitant taxes, you have to go through smuggling, and the smuggling will be on the increase again. And this is what the government is trying to do again before they go within 27 days.
Now, there's a lot more to talk about. We still have education. We have the educational sector standing. We have the health sector standing. I love the fact that you already went into insecurity. Like you said, we can make the judgments for ourselves. We can look at how things were before this administration came in, and we can look at how things are now that the administration is winding up. But then let us give our people an opportunity to also say what their review of the present administration winding up is. What do you think about the present administration? Would you say the administration scored well, or would you score the administration down? 09136556952 09136556952. That's the number to call on the show, and the number to send in your WhatsApp and text messages to is 09136556864. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is General, one of your popular listeners of this program.
All right, thank you so much. Let's have your reaction.
Yes, I've been listening to the question that that is put forward. If we want to start assessing the performance of this government, actually, people really have we are really having how will I call it, great expectation. Even I'm one of them. I was having a great expectation about this government. Let me tell you sincerely, in 2015, the price of commodities never went down during this government. Hello.
We're here. We're listening.
Yes. Instead, it keeps on going up and up every day. I want to tell you now, so there are some families today now who doesn't even know how they are going to eat. They don't even know where they are going to get food to eat. Okay, let's even come down. The cooking utensil issue of gas. It's even a cooking gas. It is getting high. The price is getting higher and higher every day. Then issue of COVID-19. It is during the era of COVID-19 when we were on lockdown. We heard of some cabals who said they fed school children with billions of naira. When the schools are on lockdown, children are on lockdowns. So, to me, for them to be saying that President Buhari has performed beyond the way he meant it in 2015.
All right.
I think it's hypocrisy.
All right, thank you so much, General. We'll have to let you go so that we can give other people an opportunity to also call in on the show. I have this message on WhatsApp, and it says, "Good morning, my name is Mukhtar from Agbadam. Personally, I would say in the overall assessment of this administration that they have really performed woefully and disappointing. We expected so much from them and they disappointed us. If we keep importing more than we produce, we will continue to witness a rise in inflation and more people will fall below the poverty level. I hope this incoming administration will get it right. God bless Nigeria. Have a nice day." Let's get this call before we go for a break. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Barrister Gideon Osagbemi from Tanke, Illinois.
All right, thank you. Let's have your reaction very quickly.
I want to adopt everything said by the guest in the studio. it cannot be put in a better way than he has put it.
Hmm.
I owe him a bottle of wine.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, that's all.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Let us also have your assessment of the outgoing administration in Nigeria. Send us your text, send us your WhatsApp messages, 09136556864. Meanwhile, we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we get back, the conversation continues right here on the show. Don't go anywhere. It's still the Diamond Breakfast Show. Stay with us.
Diamond FM, radio made for you.
kára ó lè pé bá ara ríro kò sí mọ́ àwọn ká ti sá lọ àrùnmọ́lẹ́gùn ẹ̀yìn dídùn làkúrẹ́ ìgbé wọ́n ti lọ wá bí wọ́n sí kára ó lè pé bá àmúrẹ́ àtúrà dáadáa.
kókó lára ọ̀tá le. gbéra ńlẹ̀ kó dìde. kára ó lè pè ń bá. àtúrà wọ̀ àtúrà pẹ̀sẹ̀ àtúrà dáadáa. kegun tó kegun náà. kára ó yá gágá. ara ń ronú tẹ́lẹ̀ kò ronú mọ́. tẹ̀bá ti fi kára ó lè pè ń bá ra. lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọnú igun. tó sì ń ṣe àtúntò rẹ̀. òṣùbù yẹ̀kẹ́ fa párọ̀ tàbí fi ẹsẹ̀ dá. fi kára ó lè pè ń bá wọ̀. káì ara rẹ̀ ó lè padà yakinlala. action action. ó jẹ́ àwọ̀ká àròmọ̀lẹ́gun làkúègbé ara ríro tàbí ẹ̀yìn dídùn. kára ó lè pè ń bá lọ́kọ̀ gbogbo wọn. agbára pọ̀ kára ó lè pè ń bá. tuyi pharmaceutical industries limited. àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká po oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. kára ó lè pè ń bá. ẹ̀rọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pín ìrèpàtú òpèrè ta pàtà pọ́npọ́n. kára ó lè pè ń bá. ó kì í síbẹ̀.
kára ó lè pé bá àmúrẹ́ àtúrà dáadáa.
The federal government, through the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, announces the availability of COVID-19 and childhood vaccines nationwide. With the disturbing increase in reported cases of COVID-19 infections across Nigeria, protect yourself and loved ones from the harmful virus by getting vaccinated. Visit the nearest public or private health facility and mass vaccination sites today to receive the first, second, or booster doses of COVID-19 vaccines. COVID-19 vaccines are given to persons 18 years and above, including pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers, while childhood vaccines are given to children from birth to 5 years for protection against polio, hepatitis, yellow fever, measles, meningitis, and other vaccine-preventable diseases. All vaccines are free, safe, and effective. For inquiries, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700 220 1122.
This message is brought to you by the National Primary Health Development Agency in collaboration with the Nigeria Red Cross Society with support from the Africa CDC SLL program.
Diamond FM, radio made for you.
You're welcome back, and it's still the Diamond Breakfast Show reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM. My name is TOBI ADEBISI, and I still have Dr. Hadi Mashood in the house doing justice to the assessment of the outgoing administration, the federal administration in Nigeria. We're still talking about a lot of things. We're still taking your reactions. Sending your reaction to us on WhatsApp and through text on 09136 556864. Let's get this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Ibrahim from Dhaka.
All right, Ibrahim, let us have you.
You see, my contribution is that this current administration has taught us a lot of lessons. That we should not have a high hope in politicians. But what I will just say is that I will pray to God that God should help this incoming administration, the administration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to fulfill most of his campaign promises, and he should have it should then benefit us.
All right. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, for joining us on the show. Like I said before we went on that break, we only did some assessments in generally. But there are some pressing issues that actually really concern the people so much. Like when we talk about education, the old ASU brouhaha that we saw, in the past years, Naira policy, unemployment, the refineries are still there. Issues concerning the refineries are still there also. We also have the brain drain continuing in the health sector. And look at the bill that is, going through the House now, looking to stop doctors from and then they say how they want to do that is by making sure that most of them do not get their licenses until after 5 years. So you mean a doctor that is not licensed is going to be performing operations, is going to be is going to be carrying out major doctoral duties without a license? I feel like that is a problem within itself. Now let us start from the educational sector. Let us look at that. The issue with ASU, as far as I'm concerned, I think it still remains unresolved.
Yes, it's unresolved.
So what do you think about that?
That is another area of judgment of performance to actually judge the performance of this administration. In terms of education, the government disappointed us also in this aspect. Even there is a UNESCO standard yearly in terms of budgeting for education. The government did not even near the UNESCO target of 26% of our annual budget for education. And hardly, since the coming of this administration, did they even reach 5% of the annual budget for education. So not only that, they are not even, they don't have the foresight to know that our youth who are who we always say, we always clamor that they are the leaders of tomorrow. We are not even making any preparation for them. In terms of the education also, the bastardization of the education system, the ASU, they came on board, they came with their own demand. Rather than addressing this issue holistically, you are trying to make a kind of divide and rule within the rank and file of a faction. So that will not even solve the problem, because I expect that a government that is very serious will actually go on the table with these people and actually dialogue, because what they are saying is that look at the kind of the half-baked graduates we are going to produce if we don't have the necessary infrastructure in our university system. Most of the facilities are not even they are not upgraded. We only thank to TED Fund, who has always been on the intervention of these universities. If not for TED Fund, that has been giving us a kind of a renewed hope, we will not have even have anything to count for in the education sector. And then the people are not well paid. We have made analysis on several occasions where we compare the salary of our university lecturers with other outside the country. We are far behind. And when people are not well motivated, how do you want them to put on their best in terms of teaching and research? And then teaching and research is not going to be done on empty stomach. Now they went on strike. We refuse to pay them. And during this period, 3 things are for academics. We have 3 things that we use: academics, research, and community development. And when even they are on strike, it's not that they have closed their door entirely. They continue to do research. They continue to do community development. It's only teaching that did not go on. Then you said you are not going to pay them. And then people, many of them are on. They have families. Many of them, they are professors. The wife and the husband, they are professors. They are in the university. You do not pay them.
Let me also chip in that we got to a point where ASU began to say that they're not even fighting for their salaries to be increased, but what they want is infrastructure.
Go there in large classes, the general studies and some large classes. You will see people no sitting arrangement for them. They have to sit on bare floor to receive lecture. No public address system to address them. And you cannot even charge the student to pay for these extra charges. So it has to be the government that has to take care of it. And most of the states too, they keep on establishing universities that they cannot fund. Many of them. They keep on establishing colleges of education, universities, and when they establish them in the name of politics, they do not go up to fund this education system, and at the end they went into decay. So what are we saying? So in terms of education, they have failed, and they have failed completely. And we have to call on the incoming administration to have a rethink. To have a rethink. Look at and even the most person that disappointed me is the Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige. A medical doctor himself, he has created more problem in the labor ministry than he met it. And that man is still there telling that if the we have brain drain already, and he's saying that yesterday when this ultimatum of the medical doctors came, he said if they want to go, let them japa. The japa syndrome is there, and he said they should continue to go wherever they want to go.
The president has said it also before. He said whoever wants to leave could leave. He has said it.
How can the responsible government say that?
Now,
when you use your money, the hard-earned money of Nigeria to train people, and at the end of it all, when they are supposed to remunerate them to pay them, you ask them to go away. They have received the training. Yeah, most of those performing excellently well abroad, they are from Nigerians. We train them here, and because we cannot give them little things to a kind of incentive, a medical doctor now is attending a 10,000 patient. You want to kill them?
Let us take some reactions. We have the phone lines buzzing 09136556952. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. Well,
please turn down the volume of your radio set so that we can hear you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Let's have your reaction.
There is another
you have not turned down your radio set. Please, when you call in, turn down the volume of your radio set. Our console here will cut your call if we have all those feedbacks, please. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Success from Babode.
All right, Success from Babode. Let's have your reaction.
Okay. Concerning the issue of the incoming administration.
We're talking about the outgoing administration now.
Okay, let me just, the outgoing administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, I think he has tried to, see, something we don't understand in this country is this medical doctor, if you reach the hospital and you see their behavior, you not even like to say them anything at all. Because even if they are seeing patient dying, you can easily the nurse that is working. These doctors are not doing anything. And he has tried a lot for them. Look at this law. How can a medical doctor that if somebody does not pay his bill at the hospital, they will not take him. He insists on going to strike that the federal government does not pay him.
Okay.
With my own, in fact, it's like they are even starting autonomous of their own.
All right.
Because without the federal government and paying them anything, they can survive if they just want to yap. Why mocking this country?
All right.
Anyone who wants to yap according to their languages to yap.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
All right. He's of the opinion that medical doctors are not doing enough.
How do you want them to do their best? I've said it now. We refuse to recruit. We refuse to enumerate well those who are in service, and we want them to look at what happened to many of them that lost their life during the COVID-19 period. I've told you the WHO standard is a doctor to 10 patients.
Let's get another.
And we are having 10,000 to one doctor.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Engineer Mora.
All right, thank you, Engineer Mora. Let's have you.
Yeah, I agree with the analyst in the studio. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah. Yes, on my own contribution, I can say the federal government, or I can say the Buhari administration, got F9 totally, both on all aspects in Nigeria. Because if you enter to the villages in the Nigeria, most especially in far here, you will know that many people are suffering, dying in hunger a lot, whereas no any investment. Look at. So we pray the incoming government that are unable to come, they should do more better on Nigeria to have masses on the poor men.
All right, thank you so much. And talking about the incoming administration, the President-elect Senator Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will preside over the affairs of the country in no distant time. And we're talking about the next 25 days. There are several issues and problems he looks to inherit, and these are the problems we're talking about on the show today. From the immediate past administration, one of the core issues is the debate of fuel subsidy removal. We still have, like I said before we went on the last break, we still have so many issues concerning our fuel, concerning our refineries, so many discussions in that area. The government has suspended the removal. We could recall.
But they have taken the loan, $800,000.
$800 million.
$800 million.
Tinubu did not mince words while addressing the subsidy issues, and it was glaring that he supports the removal of the subsidy. Now, the question is, ever since the announcement of an immediate suspension of the removal of the subsidy, the president-elect has not commented on this. Does this express the fear that he will not remove it when he takes over?
No. You don't expect him to start reacting to issues now. Because it will be a kind of what Yoruba says or yaju or whatever I want to say it. So let him just continue to take issues and pencil them down and then think of what to do. By the time you take over on May 29, you will now have to address the nation and tell us is the way forward on how he handle. He will plan to handle his own administration. So if you start talking now, it's to start letting the cat out of bag now. It is too early. So I will expect him to just keep taking notes. Keep taking notes. By the time he comes on board, he will roll out the plan and we'll see what is going to do.
All right, thank you so much. Do not forget that we also have conversations concerning loans in Nigeria. We keep taking loans upon loans. Anyway, the senior economist with SPM Professionals, Paul Alaje, said it is impossible for Tinubu's government not to borrow money to fund some projects, and most especially, it is unwise to remove the subsidy for the dangers it will bring. Let us listen to what he said. Here it is.
Possible, except and unless there are other things the government wants to do. So for subsidy, I also don't think that the administration will come and abruptly remove subsidy. What I think will happen is that government will perhaps negotiate with labor and review the rate that is officially charged to reduce what government is paying to something below 100 naira or about 100 naira, increase it slightly, maybe to about 250. That's what I think government will do, the incoming government will do. Because to abruptly remove it is going to cause a lot of distortion. Please, we need to be careful. When we said, some economists said subsidy should be removed. Some economists have also said that Nigeria needs to devalue naira. They devalued naira just February 2021. The implication of that devaluation was that 1 trillion naira was added to our debt profile. So when people speak, we need to know how holistic is their statement. I am never in support of subsidy. I want subsidy to be removed, but in removing subsidy don't cause a bigger challenge. Ask manufacturers today regarding the output of their product, especially those that must use diesel. A larger proportion of those that are manufacturing goods in Nigeria are using diesel. If you ask them that what is the biggest challenge they have, they will tell you unavailability of power and cost of diesel. Because when there is no power, their machine must run, they go to diesel. When you compare that with how competitive their product will be to what is sold abroad, you see that they will find it challenging. And that is why you are having factory growth today, tomorrow the factory is down. Because of cost of running the factory is too high. That is why we cannot be saying that we are privatized power sector and we don't have performance. People are made to pay for darkness. It's having tremendous impact, not just because we want to use light, to put on ACs to sleep in our home or to put on fan or to on our electric bulb, but more importantly, to ensure job is created.
Yes, these are the issues and these are the views of economists. But is this a priceless advice to move forward and gain public trust and respect? Do you think it's a priceless advice?
No, it's not. It's not.
All right.
It's not.
All right. Because
if you use that to gain you will have to tap from the advice of people. And then if a government is a listening government and you tap from experience of people, different perspectives, and then you are able to use it to add to whatever you have, and then come up with a good this thing. Just like this program that is going on now, a serious government supposed to have somebody, a kind of a special advisor or what on this kind of program. So you tap from whatever people give and advice on this program. Then you tap and start using it. By the time you use it, and then you use to perfect your administration, nobody will know that it's from the one radio station that you have tapped that idea. But they will just be praising your government that you have done the right thing.
All right.
So tapping from people's idea will improve the administration, and it will help a lot.
All right. Now we have this reaction. It says, "Good morning. Amola from Place Road. The outgoing government has done well on the construction of roads, but they've not done anything in the aspect of economy because prices of goods keep increasing every day. 09136556952. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Dele. I'm calling from Zongo in Ilori.
All right, Dele, let us have your reaction.
Yes, my own take on this, your topic this morning, is that when you are talking of government, you don't have one arm of government. You have three arms, then you have three tiers. Which government are you talking about? Is Buhari the local government chairman?
Are you there?
When we have roads in a particular state, why can't us demarcate the ones that are owned by federal and the ones that are owned by state, and even the ones that are owned by local government? You see, I think we have to be more particular with our topics.
All right. When we look at government, we do not separate one from the other, and that's why there are words like administration to put them together. So a government is not if a local government under an administration does well, it is not separated from the federal government because they are together. So we're discussing administrations now. We're not discussing just governments.
Yes, my take is this. We should not be taking up Buhari alone. That is my take. That is exactly where I'm heading to. If all the state government or the state governors have performed, we may not see the lapses, the yearning lapses that we are seeing.
Everyone who is a part of the administration can take their sub because we've not been separating the president. I think we've been saying the government, the administration. So anyone who has been a part of the administration can take their sub at this point. I'm listening to you.
I'm not talking to you in the studio. This is a public discussion.
Yeah.
Many people that had called in kept on mentioning President Buhari.
Really?
What I'm trying to say is that the scorecard should go beyond Buhari. Yes, he's the leader of the government, but don't forget that he's a federating state.
All right, thank you so much.
So other state governors should blaze up.
All right, thanks.
We should monitor them, even to the local government level. That's my take.
All right, thank you so much for joining from Songo.
I think he has actually said the right thing. And when we x-ray any government, particularly this regime, there's no way we want to start picking the state one after the other. Except if we have a particular focus on a particular state. So, but when we take the nation as a whole, you know, whatever the administration at the federal put up is a reflection of what goes on from that federal to all the other state and local government. So when we talk of a bad administration in the state, it's a reflection of what comes from the federal.
It's a reflection.
So like, so the job that Yoruba say when you put water on the head, it actually goes down to the leg. So what when we talk of like when I was talking on education the other time, I said many of them, even the state, are funding colleges of education, they are funding universities, and they know they don't have the money to do that. So when they borrow the idea from the federal, like the issue of the federal now, if the federal is giving out taking loan from I said from 12 million to 46 trillion, from 12 trillion to 46 trillion now. So if the federal government is borrowing at that rate, what stops the state also from borrowing? You know, it's a reflection of what happened at the federal.
What is happening at the federal,
once the federal is doing that, the state will also do the same. So the same thing at the local government. Buhari came and said that the local government have not been performing because the state are not helping it to perform. What has the president done at the head to make sure he's maybe sanction this state who did not allow the local government to perform? So if the head is okay, the bottom will also be okay. So that's why we are concentrating. And when we talk, when it's most reflected on the federal government, it has to be so because that is the head.
And no matter what happens, the head has to take
the blame.
The blame. 70% of the blames. Let us not deceive ourselves. There is no way the president is not going to take the giant blame in this thing. So if we're talking about scorecard, we're not going to start hand-picking states and start hand-picking local governments, especially, you know, that's why I was saying that we are talking about we're talking about administration now. The whole administration. We're looking at we're taking a holistic look at things. We're not just separating things. I hope we understand that, and I hope we move on from it. Let's take this last call and we say goodbye on the show. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Toby. This is Adesina Adegbite from Performing Arts.
Thank you so much for calling, Adesina Adegbite. Good morning.
Good morning. I want to appreciate the guests in the house.
Thank you so much.
You can see the passion. Anyone who is feeling the heat will be passionate when talking. It's not about separating state government. This Buhari has failed. Let's just call the spade a spade. We pray. The state doesn't have any other name. But let's pray for this incoming government that they will match action with their words. And I wish him all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's my Oga. That's my Oga from school. Thank you so much for calling. This last reaction. He says, good morning to you, presenter and the elite speaker. I am Ken Speckle Abibula is my name from Center Igboro. On the issue comparison of presents, we're not doing a comparison. We're looking at the scorecard of, he said, administration in Kwara State. There is no Kwaran that cannot tell the goodies we have hereby the present admins. Past admins also know they did not do. Okay, we're not doing a comparison of present and past administrations in Kwara. We're taking a look at the achievements of the outgoing federal government in Nigeria. That's what we're talking about. But thank you for joining us on the show. Good morning, presenter. This is Muideen Adebayo from Kobi Moro local government area. If I was asked to assess the Nigerian outgoing government, the mark will be 10 over 100 because they didn't do anything that was different from other ones, and it even got worse than the way they met it. All right, thank you so much. But like we said at the beginning of the show, and I think it is still very, very valid to establish the fact that no matter how bad we think an administration is, we cannot say that they didn't do anything. That is an outright wrong statement. No matter how little, this administration did something, just that they didn't do as much as many people thought they would. Some people think they did well. Some people think they didn't do well. But I think the majority was disappointed. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Dr. Hadi.
Advise the incoming administration, but we could not take.
We couldn't do that. Okay. We couldn't do that.
So because the incoming administration needed to learn a lot from the mistake of this administration.
Exactly.
And then bring up a policy that are people oriented, and then they need to consult and put up a robust economic team that will change things within a very short number of days. Even within their first 100 days, let's see a change that people are expecting, because it's a renewal, and we expect that we are going to be.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Hadi, for coming on the show. It's great to always have you here. Thank you. My name is TOBI ADEBISI, and make sure that you have yourself an amazing rest of the day and keep Diamond 88.7 FM, your company throughout the day. Goodbye.
Diamond FM, radio made for you.
Yeah, man.
Going full throttle with non-stop hits. 88.7 FM.
More music, more variety.
On Diamond 88.7.